Hello, fellow music enjoyers. Today, I am here to review Miracle Musical's album, Hawaii Part 2. This is their first and probably only album they will ever release, ever in their career. This album was released by a member of the Tally Hall Band. The member of the band who released this is named Joe Hawley. Joe Hawley is the guy wearing a red tie on the Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum album cover. Joe released this album on December 2, 2012. The genres used on this album are folk and J-pop. Now, let's get started with the review. Track 1, Introduction to the Snow. I have to admit, this is not really a great start. This is a bit of a weak start to the album, since all the other songs are good, in my opinion, better than this. So, yeah, the song just basically sounds like an old TV special. I just don't really like it. It's a weak starter to the album. I mean, it was okay. It was fine. It was actually a bit good in most of the parts, but it just wasn't enough. I just needed more of that punch that he put in that album. I'd honestly give this track an 8 out of 10. It was okay. Track 2, Isle Unto Thyself. I love this track. You know why? I am just really hooked on those heavenly vocals, those angelic vocals at the beginning, the chorus. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. The song is so bittersweet. You just keep listening to it, and keep listening to it, and keep listening to it. This song is just basically about being happy that you're in a healthy relationship. This guy is in a healthy relationship with a girl, and they hope it lasts. But that all changes around the song Murders. The track is just so beautiful. I'll definitely give this one a 10. Amazing track. Amazing track. Everything from the male vocals in the background, harmonizing, to the haunting female vocal in the background. It's just so mysterious, so haunting, so aesthetic. It's just really, it just really stands out on this album. This track just really stands alone on this album. That's how I can describe it. It just stands out perfectly in this album. I think the emotion that this song is trying to convey is a strange feeling in the relationship between the boy and the girl. They feel like something horrible is going to happen to their relationship. they feel like they feel like they should break up or something. They just feel like they should stop this relationship because it doesn't really work. Yeah. A 10. Extremely catchy. Super duper addictive. I just can't get off it. This track is just my ecstasy. Like, I just want more of that ecstasy in an album. I just want more of that feeling, that punch. Track 4, White Ball. I am not going to lie. White Ball is the second most biggest tearjerker on this entire album. So on this song, it's just like really sad. So the next song after this is Murders, where the girlfriend apparently gets murdered. And the boy is mourning her loss. And this is basically just, this track is their last moments together. And they're just like confessing their love to each other. Like they know the world's caving in on them and their relationship's about to end. It's just like so emotional. So they're trying to make the most of it before time runs out. And the walls cave in on them. Ugh. So this track is like really emotional. It's probably the second most vile, probably one of the most vile parts of this album. Like Romeo and Juliet before tragedy strikes. It's like they know they're gonna die. It's like they know someone is hunting them down. And they know they're in a healthy relationship and they want to end that relationship and ruin both of their lives. 10. I do not take that rating back. I genuinely think that the track is a 10. I will never regret that rating. Ever. Here on the song we have a distorted, ominous, mysterious piano ballad. Like the fusion of the vocals and the piano chords and just like everything else in the song just makes it so vintage. Everything in the song just pieces together into an ominous, dark piano ballad. And the slamming of the piano chords, and the slowing down, and the fading away of the piano chords just resemble that spiral of insanity that he is currently about to go in. No, why? Yeah. This is probably the one of the worst songs on the album. Worst. The song starts off with some sort of generic, almost AI generated beat. Like, I don't know who decided to produce this beat. I don't know who decided to officially make this a song on the album. Every time this song plays on the album, I honestly just want to bang my head against a wall until my head busts open. Every time this song comes up on the album, I just honestly give it a skip. Like, what was even the point of putting this song on the album? Also, how is the main character fluent in Japanese? He's literally speaking Japanese throughout the entire song. And there's like this Vocaloid type voice filter on the song. And there's just this really basic generic beat. It just really falls flat. It would really be better off if it wasn't on the album. I honestly think that this song shouldn't be on the album. Yeah, these are like one of the reasons that this album is as good as I expected it to be. That and Introduction to the Snow. But this was honestly even worse. And what's even worse is the mixing. Like, I can't really hear his voice. Like, the generated voice, the Vocaloid voice. It's just, like, randomly mixed into the beat. It's just sitting awkwardly on top of the instrumental. It's really weird. I just don't like it. I genuinely do not like this song, and I genuinely think that it could be better off if it wasn't on the album. I just really wish they scrapped this song and replaced it with another song, or just left it with 10 songs. That's fine. That's completely fine. I just don't get why they added this song to the album. It's so bad. This is probably the worst song on the album, and I never want to listen to it again, because the first time I listened to it, my face shriveled up like I tasted a lemon. A lemon! A straight up lemon. I didn't even cringe. I winced in pain. I winced in pain when I heard this song for the first time. It is so bad. I genuinely think this is like the best track on the album. It's just so like bone chilling. It literally sent shivers down my spine. It just like shocked me with like fright, and it just like scared me. The track kind of like sent shivers down my body. It was very intense. So in this track, on the last track, the boyfriend was mourning the girlfriend's loss. whenever the girlfriend died when they were going out to picnic. So now the main character is like mourning her loss. And I guess he just like goes insane. And now he's being like accused of murdering the girlfriend. And he's like pleading. He's like pleading to not be guilty, but they decide to just take him in anyways, and it's just like very intense, and like the production on the track is so good. It's, how do I describe this? I just don't know how to put this thing in words. It's like very surprising. Like, I reversed the track. Like, all you have to do is reverse the track and find out what he's actually saying. Because the track is like reversed. So when you listen to the unreversed version, like if you reverse it, then you understand everything and you get everything that he's saying. This track it's just amazing. It's like it's like something from like a musical almost. Like, it's so cinematic. It's just actually insane. Let's freaking go! Yeah! So at the beginning, we have a haunting female chorus with this kind of beat, and there's like a rapper on the track, and his flow is nice. His lyricism is nice. It really just works out really well. So in this track, they're talking about like how I guess he has like a hallucination during shock therapy. I guess what they do to insane people when they put them into an institute. When they put them in like a mental hospital. And he's like talking about how he's like going insane, and he wants out of this maze that he's apparently trapped in. I like the lyricism and the energy here. It just really pumps me up. You know what I'm gonna give this one? You know? Do you know what I'm going to give this one? A 0. Ha, I was just messing with you, yeah. Just messing with you. One hit after another. Oh! This track is just really beautiful. It's just like it's just this is just like some super I don't know how to describe it. It's like super energetic. It's super euphoric. Like he's actually so in this track he escapes the Psycho Institute somehow, and he goes on a boat, and he says he's gonna go back home. He's gonna go back to Hawaii. And he's gonna go back into a time machine, apparently. I guess that's why it's called that. To see his girlfriend again. But he's not, because he's insane. But yeah, I think this track was like beautiful in a different way. It was just very mind-blowing. It was very creative. It was a good touch to the album. This is one tearjerker of a track. So the track starts out with some harps playing and Joe's soothing vocals. And he's talking about how he's like on that boat, and he's depressed, and he's like he like feels empty inside. Thus the name Stranded Lullaby. And it just really suits the cover. Like, just look at the cover. It's a gray image of an ocean. And he's like stranded in the middle of that ocean. So I guess he just like goes to sleep, and the boat sinks while he's asleep. It's just really sad. Like, the strings on this track are so good. They're so beautiful. Like, this track is beautiful. The track is like very soothing. It's just very beautiful, very emotional, very bittersweet. if you listen to the whole thing through, if you listen the whole thing through, you are going to cry. Trust me. This is very emotional. Joe definitely did a great job on this one. He really thought this one through. Oh, you know what I'm gonna give it. Oh, you know. Yeah, you guessed it, yeah. And finally, the last track on the album, Dream Suite and C Major. Get it? C Major. Ha ha ha. Anyways. So, this track is like 7 minutes long. But, yeah. This is like a great heart-melting track. Because he's like in heaven with his girlfriend. And they're both together again, and they're spending time together again. It's just magical how this piece comes together. And he's also speaking French on this one. I do not remember him learning any French. It's just weird and out of pocket. But other than that, this track is magical. It sounds like something you can hear out of a Disney movie. Like something you can hear in a Disney musical. So they're like spending time together in heaven. And they're flying in the sky, I guess. It's either that or they're like he's like having flashbacks of their memories together. Have you ever heard of like when you die, like your a collection of your memories replay in your head? I don't really believe that, but I'm just trying to like communicate it easier to you. But yeah. This track, I'd say it was a decent 10. Good track. This album had amazing production. It had beautiful narrative, beautiful lyricism, like beautiful. And Joe Hawley's voice is just so unique. I do not regret listening to this album. I like this album a lot. Although I didn't think it was perfect, it was almost perfect. Probably the best album of 2012. Well, probably in my top 10, No, top 5 of 2012. Top 5. Yeah, I genuinely think that this album is better than Tally Hall's entire discography. Like, it's so much better. Tally Hall is definitely not as talented as this. I mean, Tally Hall isn't horrible. It's just not that great of a band. Like, the highest rating I would give them is probably a 5 or so, a 6. But this is untouchable. Like, I'm surprised Joe Hawley went solo and made this piece of art. This magnum opus. Like, this is the magnum opus of the entire Tally Hall discography. This is like so much better. This is beautiful storytelling. This is a beautiful story. One of like the best stories of all time. I am genuinely feeling a decent to a strong 9 on this album. It's so rich. It's so beautiful. I just want more of it. I just want more of that sound in music nowadays. It's just like so glossy, so like amazing. Anyways, here is a tracklist ranking.